Coffee. Everyone loves coffee. Almost everyone loves coffee. A lot of people like coffee. I like coffee. It's a great way to start the day. Wake up, have some coffee. Yeah, just wake up and have some coffee. I drink coffee at home when I wake up. I drink coffee at work. Sometimes work is boring. And when I get bored, I get sleepy. And if I get sleepy, I want some coffee. Coffee will wake me up. I've got a special cup for coffee that I have at work. It's a coffee mug. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. I like it. I like it more than all the others. I also have a coffee cup that I use at home. So, a lot of coffee drinkers like their coffee mugs. And why is that? Why do people like their coffee mugs? I mean, everybody has a favorite coffee mug, but not as many people have a favorite, I don't know, water glass. So there's something special about coffee mugs. I mean, you have to drink out of something, and you can drink water out of anything. But coffee needs its own special cup. It's the coffee mug. So I like my mug because it's mine, and I want to keep it forever. But if I buy coffee at a McDonald's or Starbucks, they don't put it in a nice coffee mug. They put it in a paper cup. Or they might put the coffee in a plastic cup. So you drink your coffee, and then you throw out the cup. That's not good for the planet. That's more trash. We don't need more trash. So my coffee cup at home, I like that, and I hope it lasts forever. I don't want to throw that out. But if I if I go to Starbucks or McDonald's, I drink coffee, and now I have trash to throw out. So I don't like that. I'd rather just use my own coffee mug. So what makes a mug a mug? I mean, why do we call it a mug? Well, I don't know where the word came from, but if it has a handle, it's a mug. I think that's my rule. Yeah, I just made that up. But I think a lot of people agree. A lot of people think that a coffee mug has to have a handle. So we drink most things out of glasses. Glasses that are, well, they're made out of glass. Clear glass, like windows. And glass is good for water or lemonade. Glass is good for wine. It's not so good for coffee. The coffee mug is usually porcelain or ceramic. That's just a fancy word for, that's what it is. I'll stick with ceramic. So plates and bowls are usually ceramic. That's what you eat your dinner off of, or you have breakfast. Eat your cereal out of that bowl. So a coffee mug can be any shape or size, but it's always for coffee. I think that's why people like their coffee mugs. You find one you like, then you make it your own. Coffee cups can be a lot of different shapes. Most of them are round, like we see here. but I've seen ones that are square. I've seen coffee mugs that are short. I've seen mugs that are tall. There's really wide ones and kind of skinny ones. And even some really kind of funny, weird shapes too. And they come in all sizes. Now, I'm an American. You probably guessed that. And I grew up drinking eh, the usual crappy coffee. You drink it by the cup. It's brown. It's brown, and it doesn't taste good, and it's not very strong. It's brown and it's bitter. Yeah, but it's coffee. It'll wake you up. Now, most places at work have coffee. Yeah, maybe at work you have a coffee machine or you have a coffee pot. If you're really lucky, they might have an espresso machine. One of those fancy ones with the pods or whatever they call them. Now, I have an espresso machine at home. I know that sounds fancy, but I bought it for a good price. It's over 30 years old. Yeah, I've had that espresso machine for, well, pretty long time. I really think it'll last another 50 years. It's just a nice Italian espresso machine. And it makes that special coffee that's really strong. Espresso. Espresso is, I think that's an Italian word, but sounds nice. Espresso. And espresso is really strong. I mean, really strong. Not like that weak stuff we drink. So espresso is really strong. So you can't drink too much. You drink espresso in tiny little coffee mugs. I've got a few little espresso mugs. They're just little coffee mugs. It's a little coffee cup, a little tiny little mug, but it's made for espresso. And it's my cup. It's my favorite espresso mug. I have a favorite coffee mug at work too. It's for the regular coffee. The crappy coffee. That brown, weak, bitter coffee. It's not that good espresso. So I don't drink that much coffee at work. Because I don't like the coffee at work. If I drink coffee at work, I do use my favorite mug. So I like my mug, but I don't like the coffee. I like my mug. It's not really beautiful or pretty. In fact, my coffee mug at work, it's pretty ugly. But it's really special because it was a gift. Yeah, a good friend of mine gave me this coffee mug. It's kind of funny looking. Actually, it's really ugly, but I like it. I love it. I like it because my friend gave it to me. Yeah, I think a lot of people like their coffee mugs. I think a lot of people get, some of those might be gifts too. So I've got my favorite, and maybe you have your favorite. So I really like that coffee mug because it was a gift. That mug was a gift from a friend, a special friend. So I think of her every time I have a cup of coffee. The coffee is bitter, but the memory is sweet. At home, I've got a cupboard filled with coffee cups. I've got big coffee mugs and little tiny mugs. I've got mugs for espresso. I've got mugs for regular coffee. Every one of those coffee mugs is special. They're special in its own way. And not because I bought them at the store, and not because they're fancy or beautiful. These coffee mugs are special because they don't just hold coffee. These, these coffee mugs are special because they hold memories. So everywhere I go, I need to buy a new coffee mug. I've got mugs from Italy and France. I have, I even have one from China. And these coffee mugs, they help me remember where I've been. It's a good reminder of places I've seen, people I've met. So I open up my cupboard and I don't see just coffee mugs. I see a cupboard full of memories. I like that. That's why I like those special coffee mugs. Memories in a cup. Sweet. And that's why I like to take my coffee mug to work. Because sometimes, well, work gets me down. Now I really like my job, but it gets boring sometimes. That's like any job. But I see my favorite coffee mug. It makes me a little happy. I look at that mug and I can close my eyes and I'm in France. I like when I had coffee this morning. I had a nice shot of espresso. And I drank that in my favorite little espresso mug. That little mug, it's not fancy, but I bought it in France. Yeah, I was in Paris. I was in Paris a few years ago, and I had a great time. It was just wonderful. When I travel, I'm not really a tourist. Like American tourists. I guess like a lot of tourists. Yeah, they're always trying to take a selfie everywhere they go. And they travel all over. They stop here and they take a lot of pictures. And then they leave and they go somewhere else. And they do it all over again. Ride on a bus, stop, take some pictures, and leave. Eh, look at someplace else. I I don't really like that. It seems too rushed. Makes me feel like I'm in a hurry. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm on vacation. I don't want to be in a hurry. So when I'm on vacation, I just like to hang out. Hang out in town. Maybe sit at a cafe and sip some espresso. I like to meet the local people. It's hard to do that if you're not staying anywhere for one. I like to meet the local people. It's hard to do that if you're always moving, going from one place to another. So I like to stop and stay for a while. I like to meet these local people. I mean, they live there, so they must know a lot about the places that I go. They live there, so they they know a lot about their home. So I like to talk with the locals, the people who live there. I can even practice my French. Uh, I don't speak French very well at all, but I try. It's a nice way to meet people. That trip was a long time ago, and I haven't been back to France in a few years. I kind of miss it. But when I have my espresso in the morning, it reminds me of Paris. Yeah, that little espresso mug makes me feel like I'm right there again. I close my eyes and I'm back in Paris, sipping espresso. I like that. It's a really good memory. I have another favorite mug. It's kind of special. It's got it's got some nice painting and patterns. I like this mug because my wife gave me that. I like it because my wife gave me it. Yeah, my wife gave me that mug. She bought that for me in Greece. So it makes me happy because she had a good time. I didn't get to go, but I like the cup. Coffee mugs are a really good way to make new friends. No, really. Think about it. Sometimes for me, it's hard to meet new people. I mean, I'm not that shy, but it's hard to know what to say sometimes. But I've learned one small trick to start talking. I just ask the person about their coffee cup. Yeah, it's really easy. I just go up to them and say, "Hey, that's a nice mug. Where'd you get that?" And most people will tell you their story. Yeah, maybe they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I bought this coffee mug in Berlin." And, well, that could be an interesting story. Or they might say, "Oh, yeah, I bought this mug at Walmart." That's not an interesting story. It's kind of like dogs, like walking your dog. It's really easy to talk to someone with a dog. You just walk up to them and say, "Hey, nice dog. What kind of dog is that?" It's the same thing with coffee mugs. You've got a new coworker? Hey, you want to meet him? But you don't know what to say. Well, just stop by and introduce yourself. And then ask, "Hey, where'd you get that coffee mug? That's a really nice mug." And if you really want to make friends, don't ask about their coffee mug. If you want to make friends, if you want to make friends with someone, give them a coffee mug. Yeah, that's right. Don't ask them, give them a coffee mug. Coffee mugs are the perfect gift. It's easy to see why. Yeah, coffee mugs are perfect. You can get any kind you want. And almost everyone drinks coffee. So you can get any size, any color. You can even get writing on it. You know, get a special coffee mug, says whatever you want it to say. So you could get a coffee mug that says, "I'm the world's greatest dad," or "I hate my job," or stuff like that. It could be your favorite sports team. A lot of people have coffee mugs from their schools. So, coffee mugs can be any shape or size or color you want. That coffee mug, it's yours. It's nobody else's. It's your mug. You can have it say whatever you want. Mine says, "Make more English videos."